Happy day, children. Today in chapter 3, metals and non-metals, we are going to discuss about how do metals react with acids and metal salt solutions. And we are going to see about ionic compounds formation and their properties. First, we will see about reaction of metals with acid. So already in chapter 2 we have studied about this. So what happens when metal reacts with dilute acids? It forms salt plus hydrogen. These are the few examples for that. When magnesium reacts with HCl, it forms magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. When aluminium reacts with HCl, it forms aluminium chloride AlCl3 plus H2. When zinc reacts with HCl, it forms zinc chloride plus H2. When iron, that is Fe, reacts with HCl, it forms ferrous chloride. Ferric chloride means I told you ferrous and ferric. Okay, ferric is F3 plus 2 plus is ferrous chloride plus H2. So we know very well that when metals reacts with acids, it forms salts plus hydrogen. Already I taught you that it differs the rate of reactivity, the rate of reaction with acids, metals based upon their reactivity varies from metal to metal. So these are the decreasing order. Magnesium, aluminium, zinc, and it is more reactive than aluminium, then zinc. Decreasing order means smaller to lowest. Okay, this iron will have less compared to zinc, compared to aluminium, compared to magnesium. Okay, we know very well that copper, silver and gold do not react with any of the acids. Okay. Here, why you may ask the question, we have learnt about when metals reacts with HCl or H2SO4, it gives salt plus hydrogen. Why we are not using nitric acid? When metal reacts with nitric acid, it will not evolve hydrogen gas. Why? Because nitric acid itself is a strong oxidizing agent. And what happens? It will oxidize the hydrogen produced to water. And itself it will reduce to one of its oxides of nitrogen. For example, if you take this reaction, when copper reacts with nitric acid, here it forms copper nitrate plus here hydrogen is oxidized to water and it is reduced to here hydrogen is oxidized to water and it is reduced to nitrate, oxides of nitrogen. So nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent and it oxidizes the hydrogen gas produced to water. Okay. Next we are going to talk about reactions of metals with metal salt solution. Salt solution. You can take any salt solution, copper sulfate, okay, ferrous sulfate. We know that already in first chapter we have learnt about the displacement reaction. What is displacement reaction? A more reactive metal will displace the less reactive metal from its salt solution. Okay, here if you take magnesium plus copper, magnesium is more reactive than copper. So it displaces copper from a salt solution and it forms magnesium sulfate. Zinc plus copper sulfate. Zinc is more reactive than copper. So zinc displaces copper from a salt solution and it forms zinc sulfate plus copper. If you take iron, Fe plus copper sulfate. This experiment we have already done, right? So what will happen? Iron is more reactive. It displaces the copper from its salt solution. It forms iron sulfate plus copper. So here the color of copper sulfate will be blue. When ionyl is dipped, iron is more reactive. It displaces the copper. The solution turns into pale green. We know very well that this experiment we have done in 9th also. This activity is similar to this. So they are putting a copper wire in the iron sulfate solution. Iron is less reactive than copper is less reactive than iron. Correct. So here no reaction will not take place because less reactive metal cannot displace the more reactive metal. Similarly, if you take a ionide in copper sulfate, we know very well that iron is more reactive than copper. So iron displaces the copper, this the reaction. So the product formed will be ferrous sulfate, and the color change, the blue. The copper, because of less reactive, it displaces the copper and it forms iron sulfate, and the color change will be green color. Okay, this is the what is the type of reaction? It is the single displacement reaction because the more reactive element displaces the less reactive element from its salt solution. Next, the reactivity series. What is reactivity series? Reactivity series is nothing but the arrangement of metals in the decreasing order based on their reactivity. How it reacts. Based on that, it is arranged in the decreasing order. If you take this potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, it is most reactive. Aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, it is the medium reactive metals. The least reactive is after hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold. So these are the based upon this. This is more reactive. More reactive can displace the less reactive. Less reactive cannot, sodium cannot displace potassium. Please always remember this. This is the reactivity series order. Next, we are coming to how do metals and non-metals react. How the formation of bond. What is that name? We are going to see in this. Okay. So we know that metals will be in the left hand side and metals will tend to lose electrons and it becomes positive ion. So that is called as electropositive elements. For example, sodium atomic number is 11. Okay, so how will you write the electronic configuration? It is 281, right? So it has one electron, outermost electron, one valence electron in its outermost shell. So instead of accepting 7 electrons, it is easy to donate 1 electron. So it loses its 1 electron and it forms the sodium ion, Na plus cation. Okay, whereas the non-metals will be at the right hand side of the periodic table. Non-metals, example, if you take chlorine, its electronic configuration is 2, 8, 7. Instead of losing its 7 electron, it is easy to accept 1 electron and it becomes chloride ion, Cl minus, it becomes anion. So non-metals accepts or gains electrons and becomes negative ions and they are called as electronegative elements. So this is the formation of sodium chloride. Here what is happening? Ionic bond happens. What is ionic bond? We should know before we are proceeding into the detail of this. So metals tends to lose electron. Non-metals, it tends to accept the electron, right? So here comes the ionic bond or it is called as electrovalent bond. What is ionic bond? It is the complete, a bond, a chemical bond formed between two atoms by complete transfer of electrons from one atom to another to complete their octet. Okay, that is called as ionic bond or electrovalent bond. For example, if you take sodium is a metal, chlorine is a non-metal. Okay, it has one outermost electron, it has 7. It needs only 1 electron. So what will happen? Sodium will lose its 1 electron and it becomes Na plus. Chlorine will accept 1 electron, it becomes Cl minus. So what is the compound, ionic compound bond? Na bond Cl. This is the ionic compound bond. So what is ionic bond? It is the complete transfer of electrons. Okay, one will tend to lose, one will tend to accept, and the bond formed between the two atoms is called as ionic bond or electrovalent bond. I need to explain with one more example, magnesium and chlorine. Magnesium is a metal. Chlorine is the non-metal. Magnesium, what is the atomic number? 12. How will you write the electronic configuration? 2, 8, 2. So it has 2 valence electron, whereas chlorine, it is 17, 2, 8, 7. So we know that here it needs to lose 2 electrons. So it becomes Mg2 plus. So magnesium, chlorine, we know the formula for magnesium chloride is MgCl2. So 2 chlorine and 1 magnesium, it has 2 outermost electron. Here chlorine. So each magnesium will lose 1 electron to 1 chlorine, then 1 electron will be, it will lose 1 electron to chlorine. So this 1 chlorine will accept 1 electron. The next chlorine will accept the another electron. So it forms, it loses its 2 electrons. So it becomes Mg2 plus. Chlorine is accepting the electron. So it becomes Cl. So what is the crisscross method we will write, and it is the MgCl2. Understand, it is the 2 minus, so it is the MgCl2. Next we are going to see about the properties, ionic compounds. What are the properties? Ionic compounds will be generally, it's solid, hard, okay. It is crystalline solids. They have high melting and boiling points. They are soluble in water, but they are insoluble in organic solvents like petrol, kerosene. Ionic compounds as such, in solution form only or in molten state only, it can conduct electricity. Ionic compounds are hard, solid. So it is tightly packed. So there is no possibility of conduction of electricity. Either when it is in solution form or it is in molten state, it can, because there is the free movement of ions in molten state or in solution form, it can conduct electricity. So these are the properties of ionic compounds.